Cinematographer Lawrence Sher has worked on films such as Godzilla King of Monsters, Garden State, I Love You Man, and on one of the highest grossing films of all time, Joker. Through his lens, he brought grit to downtown Jersey, which subbed in for Gotham City, and he created the visual aesthetic in bringing Todd Phillips' vision to life. It is my pleasure to bring out Lawrence Sher, cinematographer.
This is going to sound like kissing up, and I apologize, but no bullshit. This is fascinating, and I'm coming back every year. Like, I was thinking, normal Q&As, you like do a deep dive into the movie you just saw, but I've already learned so much. First of all, Lee really likes to read a lot. That's amazing. Michael has an amazingly high emotional IQ, because a lot of people would yell at you for being upset. So I learned a lot already. I don't know if you'll learn that much about me, but I'm happy to be here.
We're going to learn a lot from you tonight, Lawrence. Okay, so you and Todd Phillips initially had conversations about shooting this on film, right?
That's correct, yes.
But then you ended up shooting this on digital.
Yeah.
What I love about it is the grainy look of it, that I thought it was film, and then I think when we spoke, you were like, no, it's digital.
I tricked you.
So how did you achieve that?
So we like film a lot. We're really adamant about it, but we shot this movie on a medium format digital camera called the Alexa 65, and I think ultimately, besides the fact that we knew we would do a bit of improvisational sort of shooting style with Joaquin, which digital can sometimes help with technically, that medium format, large format look, which is very portraiture and has like this, I almost feel like it's like a live 3D. The depth of field is very shallow. You're getting all this information in the frame that I thought just psychologically it would have a bigger effect on the audience, and I know Todd agreed, and so I think that ultimately drove us to shoot digitally, so we could shoot in that large format style.
And one of my favorite scenes, and something that really captures the arc of the character as well as the photographic arc, is anytime we see him on the stairs. So talk about...
Yeah. Well, the stairs have become like a huge tourist destination, I think.
It's an Instagram
thing now, exactly,
right?
It's a religious monument, I think, or something. But the stairs are a real character in the movie. It's one of the reasons why we chose that neighborhood for Joaquin's character, for Arthur. And the fact that those stairs are really pretty unbelievable, 180 steps at least or something. Wow. Yeah, and so it's hard to walk those stairs. And every time we'd scout it, we'd have to walk it. And the idea that we meet Arthur in his journey home after being beaten up in the alley, and he literally, that big sort of breath of air you take before it's like, I gotta make this walk every day. And that really represents his life and how hard his life is and how hard the people that live in that neighborhood versus other areas. And then the fact that his one most joyous moment in the movie is coming down those stairs, and which is obviously easier. It also represents maybe his true destiny, which is more down than up, heaven and hell. And that he's having so much joy. It's really the most fun moment he has in the movie, where he's sort of fully embraced his destiny and his new being. So it's a big part of the movie, those stairs, yeah.
And then another big part of the movie is the subway scene, which marries like editing, the music, Hilda's amazing score.
Amazing.
As well as your cinematography. Like, talk about that scene and shooting that. Yeah,
that scene is such a pivotal moment in the movie for the character. He sort of crosses a line that takes him into a new path. And we ultimately wanted like everything in the movie to do it real, so we tried to think about how could we shoot it on a real subway. But Todd had always expressed that he wanted the scene to sort of be elevated from a normal, realistic subway travel, and that it was almost like a fever dream that could build with sound and light. So once we thought about that, and I thought, oh, what does that mean to me? And I wanted just a lot of control. And every time I travel in New York, I always like take phone pictures and videos of stuff of traveling through the subway cars, because I love the way the light dances around when the lights flicker off and then you pass another train, you see the people there. And So we thought, how could we replicate that? And in the end, we did it in a much more technological way than anything else in the movie, which is we had these huge screens that could project basically, the subway platforms going by or another train and even the lights. And so we could do it in real time, and I was sort of DJing the scene while the operator, Todd and Joaquin, and the actors were in there. And so I could just watch the scene on a monitor and then in real time shut all the lights off and flash by a subway car. So it was this really fun thing, and every take, we just did it live, no rehearsal, we didn't repeat it, we never recorded it. We just sort of watched it and felt when those lights could happen, and it was really fun.
And then you've got a scene like the refrigerator scene, which apparently Joaquin improvised.
Yes.
So how do you, as a cinematographer, capture a moment like that?
Yeah, I think, I've always been, it's probably why I've never been one of those awards cinematographers. Because very early on, I would say, I'm never going to get an Academy Award nomination because it's all story for me, and I'll never be so enamored with the image, and I feel like I should be more if I want to, But I really was it's all story. So if I can do anything to help Todd and the actors work as quickly with as much freedom as possible, that's my ultimate goal. So it's about lighting the space and not the specific area in which they live in. And we shoot quick, so Todd was near the final couple weeks of shooting, Joaquin and him, and we're just constantly coming up with ideas of what Arthur would be doing at night because he's not sleeping. And so Todd just said, hey, set 2 cameras up. He's going to do something in the kitchen. I have no idea. And that was take 2, by the way. Take 1, he just quietly washed dishes and was sobbing. I would have used, take 1 was amazing. And that was it. And then take 2, he just did, and then I literally looked out from behind the camera when he went in the fridge, and I'm like, what the did he really just go? I was like, I hope that it makes the movie, because that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen on set.
Oh my goodness. See, now everybody's learned something about you tonight. And
they haven't learned about me.
And the movie.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you more.
We could. Okay, so stick with me. We're going to introduce The Lion King.